in the context of privacy and possible anonymity, transparency is particularly transparency of organizations that collect data. I would say the main issue is really transparency for the data collectors to ensure that the processes they use, that the data handling they have, the way they give data to others, that they are all transparent and that people can check them against the data protection law and can go to court if that wouldn't be the case. So auditability, of course, in the question of accountability and transparency is an issue. Another issue is, of course, fair distribution of responsibility in the chain of actors. There is currently a lot of blame being put on the end user. They are the people that don't know the security problems, they don't know the privacy problems, they don't know what data protection is, so they are to blame that they don't do the things in the proper way. The essence is, of course, there are many producers of tools, there are many producers of systems, and people that are designing databases where it is rather unclear what their role in the process should be and what their liability in the process should be. And there is certainly a need to think further about how the various liabilities should be set up. And you can do that by consumer protection. And it could be just making sure that the final deliverance is in accordance with the service level agreement, and that it would be the contractor who produces the final deliverable who would be liable and try to find its recourse to the ones who deliver to him. But how it is exactly done is not is certainly an issue of discussion, but I think there is certainly a need to get into that discussion, and we need to then support by tools and by means which are allowing easy use in and dynamic assessment to help citizens and end users to understand how data is being handled, to say have a feeling on how trustworthy the other partner is, and to know what is happening really, and to also not to forget that the protection of the personal sphere. And there I would say the personal sphere is more than just the person. It's also his set of little gadgets and all kind of cards and mobile and whatever, the portable computer that is around him that needs to have a certain protection. So to finalize, for us, an ICT agenda would be, when I think about the research programs that I'm working in, is first trying to come to an EID platform which is globally interoperable, which have built-in privacy, which also, by the way, should come to the management of identification of entities, not only persons, where a trust architecture will be developed that helps people to support them in their trust decisions, to ensure accountability of the data services enforced by auditing. So it's about accountability on the data, how the data is being used, the transparency also there, and then one open question, and I think it can be a very fundamental question, in order to come to the geopolitical alignment with the activities that are done in the internet, without splitting up the internet in little pieces, because or getting borders into the internet itself, but ensuring that it's known which jurisdiction is valid for which particular actions in the internet is an important issue. And the question is whether introducing a time and location in the internet in one way or another would be a possible way of solving that problem. But that is really up for discussion, and might be a hot topic in web science in the future. Consumer protection, again, international agreements with respect to the jurisdiction. New social and economic paradigms will certainly come from many of these discussions, and an active law enforcement in a digital world based on, of course, the values that we know in as a European, particularly the European values. I think we are in a place where democracy was born. I think it's very good to try and develop these things further in this particular area. I would like to stop here and thank you for your attention. Although there was in principle a 15 minutes kind of pause, I think it would be much better if we would just follow the course of the discussions. If there would be any questions, I would suggest that we have the questions after the panel, and I would like to invite Paul Spirakis and Kai Ranneberg to take place at the panel table here. In your program, you are also seeing a third speaker, which still had to be announced. We had some unfortunate circumstances which didn't make it possible to have this speaker alive here, but I have obtained from Anne Cavoukian, a very well known privacy commissioner in Toronto, to a DVD with an 80 minutes speech, and I think it would certainly be interesting to see the perspective of trust and privacy also from the corner of the privacy commissioners or data protection people. So